April the 12th today, Sunday. And a few requests from people just to say, hi Terry, I'd love to see a bit more of the area in which you live in, and Big R is becoming a little bit of a celebrity. So I thought I'd take the opportunity just to go out for a while to show you a little bit of the area, and at the end of this we're going to have another top car for sale, this time a Crown Vic. So very, very similar to Big R itself, slightly older car, and I've got to say, anybody looking at getting into the cop car world and budget is a little bit tight, and let's face it, in this day and age at the moment, the way things are, we're all finding it a little bit tight monetary wise. This car's at a very good price. From what I understand from the current owner, he just needs a little bit of welding work just to get through the MOT. So if that's all it's going to need, and from what I've seen so far, I'm just waiting for some more details to come through to me at the time of us out and about. So hopefully I'll have those by the time we finished. If not, I'll either hold off posting this video out or wait until those details come and make a separate video. Just see how it all pans out. So we're off. First place going to stop off is my favourite, one of my favourite places. It has been on video content in the past, and I'll show you around it once we get there. So in the meantime, sit back and enjoy the drive. This destination's only sort of less than 5 minutes from home address, so probably just leave the camera running for the moment. So those that aren't aware, I'm very fortunate enough to live in what is now known as the New Forest National Park, or as us old timers would remember it as just the New Forest, and I'm living just in one of these small communities within that, and it's a place called Hythe, which is right on the waterfront here in the south coast. Will come under Southampton really as a guide for you to know roughly where we are, and we are by sea about a mile and a half directly across the Solent, and you will be at the Isle of Wight. That gives you sort of indication on whereabouts Big R is based, and hopefully you'll get to see a bit of the area. So we are now just currently driving into Hythe town centre. Say town centre, if you blink you will miss it, I can assure you. Just coming up now to it. So here we have one of the churches in the area to the left, our main post office just there to the left, and then just coming up to our right hand side now is where Hampshire Fire and Rescue have their local retain station. We have a Lidl's here, we have a Waitrose, another church, various little shops, and we've got in the area quite a lot of the Tesco and Sainsbury's and Co-op, all pop-in stores. We do have a larger co-op in the area as well, and we do have a main Tesco's, which I believe is classed as a superstore. The usual things like you expect savers and that. So that's it. That is pretty much Hythe High Street. There is a pedestrian area to the right, and then in front of us is the Hythe Pier and Ferry, which is quite a famous landmark around here. Unfortunately, it's just been announced in the last few days it's now gone into liquidation, which is a big shame, but I know that local people are doing their best to try and see if it can be saved, although being quite open and honest with you, I think it's a task just a bit too much. But, so first destination is Hythe Marina. This is a really nice little marina. Property prices in here not the cheapest around. From information I've sourced, most of the properties around here have their own berth attached to the property. If not, you have one reserved in the actual marina itself if you choose to pay for that privilege. And one of the reasons I love coming down here is years ago I used to do quite a lot of semi-professional photography for the cruise industry, and in my spare time, although arguably I don't think I ever had any spare time, I was always been occupied. That's how I like things, but this was a great advantage point to take photographs of cruise ships as they would depart in Southampton, which is quite a world-known cruise terminal. And give you an example, one of the most famous ships ever to have sailed from here was indeed the Titanic. So I'm just going to take you down to the end, and we'll come back round. I'm hoping on camera you might be able to pick up there is a cruise ship in today, of which hopefully we'll get to see the departure of that a bit later on, potentially from another one of our viewing areas. If there had been more than one in today, I probably would have come back here, but there is only just the one today, so we are going to try and source it somewhere else. So, quite a famous landmark here in Hythe is this lifeboat. Arthur Reed and Beat Ruby, and I will try and find out a bit of detail about it, actually, because all the years I've been coming here I've never really looked into it, if I'm to be brutally honest. So I will do that, and hopefully if I can find out relevant information I'll bring it to you. As you can see, it's a relatively small marina. It doesn't have lots and lots of restaurants and things like that which other marinas do. One typically I can think of is about 30 to 45 minutes drive from here, a place called Port Solent, whereas that does have a mixture of restaurants and pubs and shops. We don't have such luxury here, but it's a great spot to come and watch what's going on in the Solent. Here we are. Just going to pull up here for a little bit. So that's just us leaving Hythe Marina, and we are going to do a little hop, skip and jump into the forest itself, just to give you a little taste, as we did in episode 2. Showed you some photographs. Well, this time we'll hopefully be able to show you some actual live video footage.
This is 8325 South Emerson Avenue. Long company call back requested. Ignition 54, possible DOA, 3048, Q, record, water follow.
I have to excuse the state of the windscreen, although it appears quite sunny out. We are getting little drops of showered rain on and off, hence the state of the windscreen at the moment, so please excuse that. There's no point me getting out and wiping it, because it'll probably rain again. So this little area is sort of Tim and Purlieu. There are a few little shops they have here. Again, a little bit like Hythe, there's not a great deal here, but there's enough for most people. It's quite a sought after area to live as well. We've got some beautiful properties in the area. And here we are on the start of the New Forests, as in the main sort of deep in the forest situation. And this road here, you'll probably see it as we go along. People don't understand that the forest, the animals that are on the forest, this is their home, and they actually do have right of way over us on the roads. 40 mile an hour limit throughout the forest, and unfortunately not many people adhere to that, and the consequences of that is the wildlife that live here end up losing their life. It's a battle that's been going on for years. I'm sure it's one that will go on for many other years to come, but I will make it quite clear, this car is fitted with CCTV all round, and I have no issue at all of passing the footage to Hampshire and Isle of Wight Constabulary Road Policing Unit, and they will prosecute on that evidence. So count myself very lucky to live in this area, and I totally respect the wildlife that live here. Saying all of that, today we're not seeing much. There's a few ponies here on the left. You might see some of the area looks as though it's been a bit charcoaled, a bit burnt. That's because they do carry out controlled burning here in the forest. This sort of time of the year is quite typical. just helps keep things under control. And on top of that, it gives the other creatures that live within the forest a chance to move in, do what they need to do. So those that watched last video, episode 2, saw me go to the Exbury Club for a bacon roll and coffee, which happens every Tuesday. If you're ever in this area, you're welcome to pop in. It's £6. You get a warm welcome there. That's turning on our left coming up now. That's the way to get to Exbury. It's all signposted. You just go past Exbury Gardens and the next on the right is Exbury Club itself. So we're not going to go that way just yet. We are going to carry on down into quite a famous part of the New Forest, and that's the Beaulieu Estate, which includes the National Motor Museum that Lord Montague set up. Now his son has taken over the reins on that. If you've never visited it, a lot of motoring history is there, and it's certainly worth a visit. I think you'll find details on the website, but I think, just to give you an idea, I think it's about £25 an adult, but you literally can spend a day there. You've got the motor museum, you've got some beautiful grounds, and you also have the house and the abbey ruins and the church that's still there. So we're just dropping down in now to Beaulieu Village itself, where it drops into a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit, and as you can see very shortly, there's a very good reason for that, and I think I've just spotted one of those reasons on our left-hand side. Yep, wildlife get here too, and there's our donkeys. There's 3 or 4 there actually, just hiding around the corner. This little stretch of road, you quite often find them. It's a family of donkeys that live actually within this area, and although they all look lovely, same as the ponies and things, there's some cattle there. It'd be good advice to take on board. Do not try and touch these animals, as lovely as they look, because they will bite and they will kick. And also the foresters have asked not to feed the animals as well. It kind of doesn't help them actually. There's plenty of vegetation etc. for them. So this is Beaulieu. The Beaulieu National Museum and Estate is on our right hand side. We're just going to go into the village. You go up to the left hand side, it takes you through Beaulieu Village itself to the shops. Won't go up there because, to be honest with you, this is quite a wide car, and that road's not designed really for this sort of car to go up. So great little garage here on the left hand side. We've had some photo shoots done there before. Used to have a lot of restored cars there. Sorry, I'm chewing on my words as I'm concentrating on driving, but now it's turned into mainly just the car sales. So that's taken us 3 or 4 minutes from home, which is all very nice. That was one of the few paramedic bikes that we have in the area. It's gone past us, and here's all the wildlife. And this is the reason I'm underlining to you, please, 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 if you are fortunate enough to be able to come and drive down through the forest, please just watch your speed. We've had quite a few animal deaths this year already, and unfortunately it's all been driver error. lots and lots to see around here. Check it out on the various websites all connected with the New Forest, and there's lots of information about various places to visit. Get a chance, it seriously is well worth the effort. So this main road takes us to two other places that people may have heard of. You've got Brockenhurst, which literally just carry on immediately down this road. And if you go off to the left, you can go down to Lymington, but there is a loop, and we'll take that loop. Although I'm going to leave the camera rolling, I shall obviously edit down some of the video. So off to the left of Lymington, where again you can catch a ferry across to the Isle of Wight, which we've mentioned earlier, and then this way straight out to Brockenhurst. And here we are, some of our lovely wildlife doing what they do best. And there we go. That's the sort of idiot. I'm actually doing spot on 40 miles an hour, and the speedo in this car is calibrated, and then you have those idiots. I would suggest this guy who's gone off on his little sports car, probably only comes out on a weekend, which his registration number has been caught on CCTV within the car, so that'll be pushed off to Hampshire and Isle of Wight Constabulary when I return home, and they will prosecute. So he's going to have a nice little fine come through the post. I reckon he's probably doing 50 to 60 because he's pulling away from me even now, and I know this road quite well, and it's quite a windy road. Where he is now, there's lots of bends that he's not going to be able to see round. As you can probably just spot the corner on the left hand side, there's a pony just there. That pony any moment could have decided to bolt across the road and join other ponies. It wouldn't have stood a hope in hell's chance of survival, because that idiot would have plowed straight into them. Just going to turn into here. This will just give you a bit of an idea of some of the parking facilities here. Now, right in front of us, that goes for miles and miles, is where Beaulieu Aerodrome was, and during the war, this is where a lot of the Americans were based. As you can see, it's quite a vast area. It's one of many car parks, and I'm led to believe we are very soon going to get into the state of having to pay to park in these car parks, which to be honest, it's something that's been coming for a long time. And you can see by the surroundings we're in now, what a lovely place to come for a nice little drive on a Sunday afternoon. All along this route there are a number of places where you can pull over into car parks like we've just stopped through and get out and stretch those legs, and there's a high chance you will bump into some local wildlife, and certainly through this part deer is quite common to be hanging around. Great places to come out and chill and enjoy what's about, really. But, you can see by these roads, I'm very lucky. I know through the training I've had, I can take these roads at speed if I really, really had to. There's absolutely no need for me to. Going back to the point we were making earlier about Mr. Idiot in his sports car. There you go. I bet these bends he was taken like an idiot. And as you can see, either side you've got ditches, you've got trees, potentially wildlife, potentially members of the public walking along, as they quite often do through the forest. Accident waiting to happen. I'm currently going through here again at 40 miles an hour through the bends. I'm quite happy with that speed. No need to go any faster. Legally it can't go any faster. I do know this road pretty well. So down here we are. I'm going to slow down because I do know that this curb and this bend, the curb is pretty much non-existent, so if you do go off you're going to go all the way down, and the bend itself, if you're not used to it, especially when it's wet, it will encourage the car to go off the road. Great road for motorcyclists. If you're a keen motorcyclist, a great road this is. Again, you don't have to push past the speed limits, but it's a really nice stretch of road to go along. So you can turn off left here to go down to Lymington, which is going to be the next place we're going to go towards, but going very narrow here, and I'm just going to show you a little bit more of the area. So I'm going to go down towards a place called Brockenhurst, which again is well known, sort of touristy sort of area. got a ford here, and trust me, this does flood when you get some heavy rain, and it does flood to quite a depth. As you can see on the boards there, up to sort of 6 foot, and I've known it to be that high as well. And this is where, if we get much traffic coming the other way, it will get interesting. Because again, quite narrow, but some really lovely properties along this road, especially on the left-hand side. I don't know if you'll probably see those coming towards us rather than right where we are now. Nice area. Properties aren't huge, but price tag attached to them is. It's a very expensive place, but again, it's location. If you want to live right here, actually right in the heart of the forest, which is where we are, and you're going to pay a premium for that. Very nice hotel at the end of this called the Balmoral. It's quite a well-known hotel, and got its own cricket pitch out the front. During the cricket season, quite often you see people there playing cricket and enjoying themselves. And this is the narrow bit. We're okay. So yeah, the Balmoral is to the right. And to the left here is quite a nice area where certainly during the much warmer weather you get lots of families here picnicking, and there is a lake there which the kids love to play in. On another one of the videos we will do some more of the forest area. Now we're just heading down into Brockenhurst itself, which has an American diner here. We're not fortunate enough to have many in this area, but we do have one down here. It's quite a small one, to be honest. I've not yet been in there myself. Keep planning on it, but have not yet done it. We've got a local college down here, which I think the students there tend to keep it in business, that's for sure. So yeah, Brockenhurst College here on the left-hand side. And then we're coming into part of Brockenhurst village. The village actually does extend off to the right hand side, but I'm not going to go through there today. It's just got some usual shops. The diner's just there on the right. It's actually closed today, but that's where the diner is. And coming up, if you're travelling by train down to the forest, you've got Brockenhurst train station directly in front of us now. And it's quite a busy one, to be fair. I think this is actually the main line that goes from the west coast all the way up to sort of London. All get served from this station here. A lot of people ask me, you know, what's it like driving a left-hand car here in the UK? For me personally, it doesn't make any difference. I'm used to driving left-hand vehicles out in the States, and to be honest, for me over here, I think it's probably fair to say for a lot of people that own these American cars, you get used to it pretty quickly, and I'm very lucky. I can jump into either car, my daily car or this, and just drive it. It doesn't make any real difference. The only thing you've got to bear in mind, especially with these Crown Vics and some of the other American muscle cars, is the width. You're a lot wider than what you think you are. And in the case of the Crown Vic is actually quite a long car. It's actually about 22 foot in length. We're talking 6.5 foot roughly in width, and sitting at around about just under 5 foot in height. It's quite a big car. So driving out through the forest in particular, especially some of the roads, you've got to be a little bit on the ball. But it's all part of the fun. I won't go into Lymington town centre today because on Saturdays quite often it's closed up for markets and various bits and pieces that they hold there, and basically it's just one high street. It's quite a small one, so we'll just skip round the outskirts of the main high street. Instead of going off down to the coast road, which we'll do on another video, we should turn back towards Beaulieu where we just come from, then back towards Exbury, then down to our final stop for today. And as I say, hopefully following on to this episode 3, we're going to have another car up for sale. As I said a bit earlier, another Crown Vic, an older one to Big R. So if you are looking or know somebody that's looking, watch the video through to the end, and you'll see it. Unfortunately, the circumstances, the car is up for sale. Quite sad, really. Unfortunately, the owner is no longer able to drive. Which I think most of us, to be told, or it's indicated that driving is not perhaps for you anymore, for health reasons. It's quite a blow to take, and I've been in that position when I had cancer where I wasn't able to drive for a while. It's not pleasant, and if you've got a passion, which I know the owner of the car has, it's even more difficult, I think, to take on board. But we're there to support the guy, and he knows that, and we'll do whatever we can. As I say, UK 911 Media Productions isn't just about anybody in particular. The only thing in particular it's related to is this car, Big R, and myself and my journey through life. Really, we kind of changed it a bit, because I did have a separate YouTube channel about my adventures. Well, I've as said in previous video, I've now combined it all into one, which is part of how some of these journeys are now coming to you. This is just part of my little adventures, having a little drive out and about, especially on a sunny day. And also I will run through the diary and give you some upcoming events, which most of them are with South Coast Cop cars, but there are other little events that have popped up some very local to me, which is things I've done for a while, and some of them will be myself and those that have chosen to do so to support the local police force here in Hampshire. Last year we were, even with the car, having some issues mechanically. We're out pretty much this period on pretty much every weekend, Saturdays and Sundays. It's not going to be quite so full on this year for a few reasons. One, and I think at the moment with the way things are with fuel prices, even myself now, I'm looking a bit more closely at that and probably doing more local stuff than distance things as I've done in the past. Also with work at the moment, my shift patterns are all over the place, so I don't really know 100% for sure when I'm working, when I'm not working. So it makes it a bit difficult because unfortunately my employer requires 35 days notice of any holiday I need, and as we haven't confirmed some of the events that we're doing or not, I don't really want to book the time off in the just in case scenario. So, but we will bring you as much content as we can out with the cars this year. With South Coast, we're down in Devon as we were last year for a weekend. Even that, I've got to cut back a bit. I can't stay all 3 days. I can only stay 2 days due to work commitment. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. And I think as well, I think it's worth sort of remembering that although some of the events we do, some of them, I've had the car over 3 years now, but I was going to these cop car events way before that, probably over the last 10 years, I think would be fair to say, or thereabouts. And a lot of them I've done a number of times now, and I'll be honest, I think some of them I started to lose a little bit of the interest, because they're very much the same old. So some fresh things to do, and obviously building up the channel is kind of my goal this year, and that's either on my own or with clubs or other individuals. We'll see how it goes. Now I've got Big R running like an absolute dream, as you can probably hear. The engine's purring away quite happily. For me, this year, it's kind of building the channel, enjoying some of the events that we've got booked up with the boys and girls with South Coast. A few other events that I've been asked to do, and some of those are events that I've done previously. So, as I've said already, some of them are requests from the local police to go and help support, and one or two other clubs that have invited me to go and do some stuff, things I've not done before. So we're looking at doing some of them if we can. And again, as I say, it all boils down to fuel, boils down to if I can get time off of work, which is unfortunately why I can't commit myself 100% to everything this year, because at the moment I just don't know if I can be off and go to events that have been booked up and mentioned, then I'll be there. But also on the other hand, there are some events that this year that, mainly from a distance point of view, I won't be doing so many. So we've just come up from the Lymington route, and we are now heading back towards Beaulieu. We've just passed an estate that was owned by a gentleman called Charles Burnett III. Charles is the man behind and responsible for the British Steam Car World Record Speed Challenge, which they were very successful in, and his estate there is where the car was built and done most of the testing, and I was very privileged to be part of the fire team, medical team that kept everybody safe whilst those builds were being made to the car, and also for the testing. Now, Charles loved his toys, and on his farm there he had tanks, he had airport crash fire trucks, had lots and lots of toys, including a private airstrip which he used to fly himself, and down the bottom of the airstrip, the hangar that he had there is still there. Unfortunately, Charles was killed in a helicopter accident, so I'm not sure what's happened with his estate, but that was fond memories, and that was over 15 years ago now, I think, if memory serves me correctly. Always brings back fond memories whenever I drive past that of those days. It was a great bunch of people, great atmosphere, very well looked after. Excuse me. So this is the main stretch back towards Beaulieu, and the aerodrome I mentioned earlier in the video it's coming up shortly on our left hand side. There's not really an awful lot of it to see nowadays, especially driving along in the car, but there are parts of the original runways and taxiways still in situ. And this stretch of road here, this is another stretch you've got to be really careful of wildlife, especially the deer. They normally run over from the right hand side across the road, a bit further back than what we are now. But our family of donkeys that I pointed out earlier, they quite often can be found down this way as well. And so are the ponies, which are over on the left hand side at the moment. The camera probably won't show it, but there's quite a few of them over on the left hand side. And they're all the regular ones. You get to know them after a while when you come this way. You get to recognise markings and things on them, so we know that they're local to this part of the area. It's their little family. Just coming up on the left-hand side is the main sort of entrance into the Beaulieu Aerodrome, which I'm not sure if it's still there, but there used to be a model airplane flying club used to operate out of there, but I've not seen them for a while now, so I don't know if they've been stopped from flying there, or the club itself is disbanded. I don't know. But we are right on the flight path for both Southampton airports, and you've got Bournemouth Airport to my left as well. So we're on the flight path for both. Plus rescue helicopters, the air ambulance, they all use this flight path here to get around. So I don't know if that's had anything to do with it or not. This little pond to the left-hand side, as you've probably seen as we've approached it, is called Hatchett's Pond. It's quite a well-known pond in the area. Quite often you get a family of swans living on it. I'm led to believe, I'm not a fisher person myself, but apparently there's some good fish to be caught here as well. I don't know the legalities of that, but I've heard there's plenty of fish here to be caught. There we go, there's a prime example of why you watch your speed in the forest. Got the local wildlife has decided wants to cross the road. And we've got someone who's quite impatient and is trying to move whilst the horse is stood there. You need to be very careful because, as you can see, there's ponies on both sides of the road that probably any minute will walk across, as we've got here. We have one right in the middle of the road. Let's see where he's going to go. He's going to go back, munch on some more grass.